Hi, this is Val Anderson. I'm with Mineral Resources International, and I'm here today to talk about some of our specific products and give recommendations for using those products in different foods and beverages through lifestyle dosing. The first product that I'm going to talk about is the Anderson's Concentrated Mineral Drops. This is the #1 product that we sell around the world. A lot of different companies sell it under the brand CMD or Concentrated Mineral Drops, and it's sold in different size bottles around the world. Most of the people who are familiar with this product know that it has a really nasty, bitter taste if you taste it straight. Now again, I'm trying to recommend to people that they should use the minerals and trace mineral products that we have, not so much as a supplement where you try to get everything that you need in one big dose, but rather to consume them more as a nutritional spice where you're spreading the dosage throughout the day. And we found that with this product in particular, when you add a little bit here and there to different foods and beverages, it actually has some magical properties of enhancing the flavors of different foods and beverages, and we believe that it also improves the potential absorption of those minerals and trace minerals. And one of the benefits of the product as it's packaged here in the United States is it comes in a little pipette dropper, and that pipette has measurements on it at 1 milliliter, 3/4 milliliter, 1/2 milliliter, and 1/4 milliliter, and that allows you to do different measurements throughout the day and kind of keep track of how much you're consuming so that you're trying to get that full 2 milliliters over the course of each day, which should put you at 50% of the recommended dietary intake of magnesium through supplementation, which is enough to top the diet off for most people. Now, a few different things that we found. One is, for example, most people are starting their day with a nice mug of coffee, and that's actually fairly acidic. It has a significant amount of caffeine in it, which revs up your ATP energy channel, and your ATP energy channel is actually dependent on magnesium, which if you're consuming a lot of caffeine over the course of the day and you're not consuming sufficient amounts of magnesium, you end up depleting your magnesium, and the caffeine is going to have less and less of an energy boosting effect. Now, if you take the Anderson's Concentrated Mineral Drops with the typical mug of coffee, about this size, if you'll add just 1/4 milliliter to that mug of coffee, instead of tasting bitter, it improves the flavor, it improves the mouthfeel of the coffee, it makes a regular cup of coffee taste like a wonderful gourmet cup of coffee. It's a subtle difference. You're not noticing any off flavors. In fact, if somebody didn't tell you that the minerals were in there, you might just think you're drinking a cup of coffee. But if you compare 2 cups side by side, one with the minerals and one without, there's a definite flavor improvement with the one with the minerals in it. Now again, another way to spread your consumption throughout the day, people should be consuming a significant amount of water over the course of the day. And minerals and water naturally go together. Water is the main solvent that's breaking the minerals down from the soils, and when you drink a good, healthy, natural water, it should have a significant amount of minerals and trace minerals in it. The problem is that with all the pollution that's in the world today, the naturally rich sources of mineral water today tend to have a lot of other pollutants in them, and so most people are consuming purified water. Purified water tastes okay. Most people actually think that completely pure water is somewhat flat and it doesn't hydrate you very well. And in fact, when you take out all of the bad stuff, you're taking out all of the good stuff as well, and that water is naturally acidic, and most people these days tend to be a little bit more acidic and would do better to bring their pH into balance to where they're a little bit more alkaline. If you add just 1 to 2 milliliters of the Anderson's Concentrated Mineral Drops to 4 liters or 1 gallon of purified water, you will bring an acidic purified water up to a good balance of pH to where you're solidly alkaline in that water, and you're going to bring the mineral content up to a comparable level of some of the world's best spring waters without the other pollutants. And so you're getting, and in fact it actually tastes good, and you can decide between the 1 to 2 milliliters, experiment with a little bit, and your flavor will be the guide. If you're more deficient, you're probably going to crave the water with the higher mineral content in it. Now at just 1 milliliter per gallon of water, there's no foretaste of the minerals, and in fact there's a sweet aftertaste, which is amazing because if you taste the minerals straight, they're quite bitter. Now, another benefit of the minerals, you can use them in cooking. You can add them to desserts, and in fact, in most fruit desserts, you can reduce the sugar that's added to make the fruit taste sweet by about 50% if you're adding the right amount of the Anderson's concentrated mineral drops. And so again, you're enhancing the flavor and you're reducing the amount of bad stuff that you have to add to the dessert to get the overall benefit. Another thing, if you get a typical can of low sodium soup, 1 milliliter of the Anderson's concentrated mineral drops per can of low sodium soup will raise up the magnesium that balances the sodium and potassium, so you're getting a balanced electrolyte in that soup, which is actually much more healthy for your heart. You get a much better mouthfeel and much better overall flavor in your soup. And so there's lots of little things like this that you can do. You can add a little bit here, a little bit there to different food dishes, but mix it up throughout the day and experiment to find out what tastes good, like you would do with any good spice.